I have just chaired a meeting of the Cabinet where we agreed that the government should call a general election to be held on the 8th of June.
The British Prime Minister stuns Westminster earlier today by calling for a snap election, saying it will create stability as the UK leaves the EU. Also ahead this half hour too, French security forces thwart an imminent terror attack, they say, arresting 2 suspected radicals in Marseille, while elsewhere there were violent clashes with police ahead of Sunday's presidential election. We'll tell you all about that. And we speak to Human Rights Watch live this hour, hopefully, as the organisation's latest report accuses the US of failing to take necessary precautions to spare civilian lives during last month's deadly airstrike near a mosque in Syria. Hi, it's Kevin Owen here in Moscow. Just turned 5 p.m. now. This is RT International. Wherever you're watching around the world, good to have your company. Top story today then is coming from Britain, where the breaking news from Britain is that the Prime Minister earlier called for a surprise general election to be held on June the 8th. Theresa May said it's aimed at finding unity during the Brexit process.
At this moment of enormous national significance, there should be unity here in Westminster. But instead, there is division. The country is coming together, but Westminster is not.
One of the reasons that has been touted for holding a general election is to try and win back seats from the Scottish National Party to nip the idea of a second Scottish independence referendum in the bud. Nicola Sturgeon has obviously hit back. She's calling this a huge political miscalculation. The leader of the Scottish National Party in Parliament, Angus Robertson, has tweeted, "What happened to now is not the time." Of course, he was referring to Theresa May's answer to holding a Scottish independence referendum. You can't hold a Scottish independence referendum now, but I can call a general election whenever I like. Other reactions from all over the shop. David Cameron called the decision brave and right. That's earned him quite a lot of flack on Twitter, as you can imagine, people accusing him of running away after the referendum, not knowing what was brave or right. And then, of course, from Jeremy Corbyn, the leader of the opposition, he says that he welcomes a general election.
I welcome the opportunity for us to put the case to the people of Britain to stand up against this government and its failed economic agenda.
To call a snap general election like this, Theresa May needs to get 2/3 of Parliament behind her. Jeremy Corbyn's support means that she will probably be able to do that when she goes to Parliament on Wednesday to ask them to vote for a general election. So 8th of June it looks like it will be, and the figures are looking very good for May at the moment as far as You Trust polls. A YouGov survey recently said that 50% of people said that Theresa May would be the best Prime Minister. Jeremy Corbyn trailing behind her at just 14%. This, though, is a complete turnaround for Theresa May. She repeatedly denied that she would call a general election. She referred to the instability that a snap vote would bring. This is her chance to increase her majority and a message to the other parties, throwing down the gauntlet to them, really, saying, put up or shut up.
If we do not hold a general election now, their political game playing will continue, and the negotiations with the European Union will reach their most difficult stage in the run-up to the next scheduled election.
The media and politicians are already gearing up for this general election in just about 7 weeks' time, and Theresa May hopes that the outcome will be that she has a mandate to go to Europe and say, I am negotiating with you and my country is behind me.
That is Laura Smith in London. We'll be getting some reaction to the risks and ramifications of May's move today.
I hope people haven't got general election fatigue, because we had a general election in 2015. The Tories won. We had Mrs May go to her MPs last year. She won. We have Brexit. Actually, we haven't got Brexit in the bag because of the opposition parties acting like children and trying to thwart the will of the people. But we, the people, actually don't trust the politicians to deliver this. So it's their chance to say, you've got to deliver this. And I think actually we're getting an even higher Brexit vote this time.
She says that it's because the country has to unite behind her in the process of Brexit, and that the other parties at Westminster are fundamentally divided from the government because they oppose Brexit. Actually, I think this is going to be a very divisive campaign. This is going to deepen the disconnect between Scotland, which voted to stay in the European Union, and England, with Scotland clearly, the call from Nicola Sturgeon, vote for an anti-austerity, basically it's a left-of-centre agenda, as opposed to a hard-right agenda, which Theresa May will be putting forward. That gap between Scotland and England is threatening to widen ever more, and we've seen it open up in the debates over independence in 2014 and over the Brexit result. So I don't think there's going to be any great coming together of the United Kingdom, as Theresa May said in Downing Street this morning.